All right, let's wait to get this camera in focus because this camera is kind of shitty. So, all right, guys, what's going on?
Woo!
We're back, dude. We're back.
Oh my gosh, we're actually back.
We're back. We're back. It's been a long 6 months.
It has.
And I apologize for that. It was more on my part. I mean, we were talking about this earlier today. Earlier before we were recording, and it's like, man, Devin was like, no, you don't have to apologize. It's fine. It's like, no, I feel the need to apologize to you guys because, I mean, I feel like we had a good thing going on, right? Like the podcast, we're doing well. We're getting inside and so many things, talking about covering so many different things. And I guess in a way, like, man, just I got caught up in so many things, and I was like, you know what?
In a good way, though.
Yeah, in a good way. And I was like, you know what? I gotta sacrifice one thing for another. And then 6 months passed. I was gonna get to it, but it's never really happened. Whenever you say something. Hold on, let me get this camera in focus. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm gonna continue talking. But whenever you say one thing, but that thing never really happens until you actually do something about it. Yeah, it's essentially that. Like, honestly, things are not gonna happen unless you put forth the effort for it.
Step your foot down
exactly,
and yes,
exactly.
where and when
Exactly.
and everything.
And then, like, just recently, I think last week, Devin, he messaged me on Facebook. He was like, so I'm free these days. Let's do this. Like, let's film the podcast. Let's get back on our bullshit. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys deserve this, and it's like, all right, let's do it. So, and honestly, I low-key kind of missed it in a way.
Dude, honestly, yeah, like I feel like, we grew so much from airing out and discussing, and there's inherently so much value in conversation too. Inherently, like it's your ideas, their ideas, and we literally both elevate each other, to another level of wisdom and knowledge.
Exactly. Like, it's amongst, so, whenever you have a conversation, like, in most occasions, you learn something, like, out of that, conversation. Like, you always come out learning something or knowing something. Oh, I guess the same definition of learning. But, like, you get a new perspective on things. Like, let's say you're talking about, I guess I don't want to say race, but like race is the only thing that comes to mind right now because of these times. But
or maybe like someone that was in another social class.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So you get their perspective, like two different social classes talking about different perspectives. You get their perspective. You have your perspective. They have your perspective. So it's like, all right, now I learned something.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, is it picking me up well enough?
No. So this is the computer's the microphone attached to the computer's mine. You're attached to the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's two different things. I have everything.
All right. Yeah. But I'm assuming they can hear me okay.
No, yeah, dude, you're good.
Yeah.
I did a mic check while you were in the restroom.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, man. So let's fill in. Let's fill into these viewers, to the beautiful people, what we've been up to these past 6 months, man.
Yeah.
You want to start? You want me to start?
Well, I guess I'll start then. So the last 6 months have been heavy, right? Heavy. Just like life is, in general, overall. So I can confidently say it's been a good 6 months overall.
Sorry, turn off my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that I'm closer to my goals and everything, and that I've been making the right steps. I've been, everything. It's just, things that are out of our control. Either it's setbacks or what recently happened to me was a loss in the family, and it's just been a heavy 6 months is all, but great overall because I can feel it. I can see the culmination of everything. For example, last October I finally sat down and started actually listening to podcasts and, then listening to psychology lectures, full psychology lectures. Like, there would be 22 videos, each of them either 50 minutes long or an hour and a half, if it was like 2 classes in one. And I would replay one if I noticed I wasn't paying attention, and I did that at least 5 times. And I was like, low-key in my mind thinking, is this sinking in? Well, guess what? I signed up for a psychology class and talked to my professor for an hour straight after one of the classes, and she was like, oh, okay, I can kind of, yep, I can see that you've been studying, that you've been picking up some stuff, like, not even just philosophical, conceptual stuff, but some of the nitty-gritty, like, personality things. And so it's really nice to see the fruits of your labor.
That's awesome, man. Because like I remember this was such a huge interest that you had. You always send me the links to all these philosophical stuff, and I come out learning and gaining a new perspective on things.
Insight,
conversation. But yeah, man. Like when you told me that, like we caught up like maybe like a week or 2 weeks ago, and when Devin told me about that, where they took the initiative to, take a class, actually, was curious on like, hey, are these things that I'm listening to legit? And then finding out that they are, and it's like, holy fuck, all right.
Yeah.
Like, this man's on his way to becoming woke. So, yeah, man, that's awesome, man. Like, as I mentioned earlier, like, stuff doesn't happen until you fucking do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And so, that's been a large part of the last 6 months, seeing fruits of my labor and everything, learning more and more. And, as far as job stuff goes, everything's been pretty good there. And there are opportunities on the horizon that I didn't even know like a year or 2 ago that would be opportunities, but it's like, oh right, I've been putting in work and like people are noticing. And then anyway, it's just nice, it's nice that it'll actually translate into the important things like comfortably providing as needed as a father and everything. So
great.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I would add is, I'll probably talk about it more a bit later, is that I've also gotten back into working out.
Sick.
And so,
That's awesome.
Yeah, already a month, super consistent, at least 3 days a week. And so really proud of that. But, yeah, Josh, so how have the last 6 months been for you, dude?
Fuck, dude, man. So, I think last time we were on the podcast, I think I mentioned that like I hated my job, right? So, and then I think I mentioned that I think the last podcast we did, it was the podcast that I like the weekend that I came back from doing that photo shoot, my first photo shoot,
right?
And then like becoming like, I guess that was the beginning of my love for photography. And then I started thinking, I was like, okay, like I guess in between that first shoot, and then I was like, all right, I'll dip into photography more into depth. And then I was like, all right, I started thinking, all right, what kind of stuff do I like? I don't want to photograph clouds. I don't want to photograph landscape. There's a lot of landscapes and cloud photos. I mean, yeah, that's nice. That's just not. I don't see myself doing that. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Photograph something that you wanted, that you like, that you want to do. And I was like, all right, I like beer. I love beer.
Straight up.
I love beer. So I was like, all right, cool. So I go on Google, and then I start looking on different like different beer photography, and I was like, man, this is boring. Like, let's shake things up a bit. And then I saw this one photo from Buffalo Bayou. Shout out to my boy Thomas. He's the guy that that with the spill beer photography that kind of inspired me. I was like, oh fuck, I want to do this, like, but let me enhance it, do with different beers.
Yeah.
So I struck a niche on that. Like, I started photographing spilled beers. I started posting on Reddit.
Dude, and that's
I got a huge like positive feedback from that.
yes, it's such high quality too, dude. Like everything I've seen, I'm just like, damn, that makes me want to have some of that beer.
I know,
like,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I posted on the Facebook groups, and then I started establishing my Instagram, and yeah, man, like I struck a niche on that, and then from there I just started just dabbling in just beer photography, spilled beer photography especially. And then I think I was doing that for maybe 3-4 months. And then the opportunity came about for me to work at a photo company, at a photo studio. I mean, it's not the photo studio that you guys would think. So I got the opportunity to work at this company called Strawbridge Studios. So Strawbridge Studios is based in North Carolina, and they've been in the photo industry for 94 years. But the type of photography that they do is school photography. So essentially, what I'm doing now for these past 2 months, I've been going to different schools all around Houston, the greater Houston area, like Galveston, Lamarck, Dixon, and I've been photographing different schools, kids, children.
Yearbook photos.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. And doing that. But yeah, like when that opportunity came about, and I just immediately, like, I felt like that was my, I don't want to say opportunity or my excuse, but my, I guess,
calling,
not calling, like, I guess, I don't know what to put in words, because I don't want to call it excuse, but I guess I'll immediately say excuse to leave my current job. Well,
reason.
I get reason. My reason.
Your reason.
My reason.
Yep. Hey,
my
man.
Reason.
It's like black and white. It's like the pragmatic, logical step right now is to do this.
Yes. So yeah, that was my reason to quit the job that I've been at for 4 years, that I've just hated, absolutely hated.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. And
for good reason. It didn't line up with your aims.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I mean, to people that know me personally, like I would talk about like so many stuff, like while I'll be at work, right? Like I work on an assembly line, just a recap. And like I'd be thinking about different artistic things. All right, what do I want to photograph this time? All right, what video do I want to make this time? So like I was just trapped, you know. I didn't have that outlet or that time. So I quit. And then with this job, like, just life is just so much better, dude. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't say better, but I would say happier. I'm more like, I see everything more in a positive light rather than I do in a negative and pessimistic light.
It's the life you want to live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, honestly, like, I mean, school photography is only the beginning, but it's not something that I see myself doing for years. But I mean, it's honestly the first thing of actually, you know, working into something that, you know, I truly enjoy.
Yeah.
Like,
a step in the right direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And having this job as a resume builder, and it's like, all right, cool. This guy's worked for a photo company, he's worked for a photo studio, he knows what he's doing, et cetera, et cetera. Let's hire him on to do this. So it's just another stepping stone into something greater. It's only the beginning. And then since then, you know, I've been doing like a couple photography gigs, portrait shoots. Made a website, joshalalde.com.
Let's go.
That was a huge thing. Have my business cards and everything like that.
Dude, and your business cards look clean, man. I've seen.
Thank
it's
you.
like, oh snap.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I like the way you're holding. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post an image like while as I'm referencing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I couldn't believe that, you know, like all of these things could have came to me after I quit my job. Like something like that was just blocking or preventing me to, you know, grow as a person.
Yeah.
And like I feel like in these past 6 months that I've immensely grew. Like even though I'm not making as much income as I used to, like I know the value of my time, the value of my, you know, of the effort that I put into work, my work ethic, my true work ethic,
Yeah.
and just knowing knowing what I want in life. You know, like
Exactly.
people are always like aimlessly, you know, let's say after high school, right? Like, fuck, I don't know what I want to do in life. And
Dude,
that,
18, 19, 20 year
exactly.
olds.
And that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
Like until this point, it's like, fuck, I don't know what I want to do in life. And then just out of nowhere, like this thing just hit me, and just like, fuck, like, all right, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And like, I feel like I just want people to, you know, to do what they love, to do what they enjoy, try to make a living out of it. If it doesn't make a living, hell, just do it for this simple satisfaction. You know?
Do it on the side.
Exactly. Because like, let's say, you know, like, I think it also correlates to, you know, therapy in a way. It's also therapeutic. So like, you know, having those hobbies, having that outlet, having that creative outlet, or whatever it may be, can just stimulate your mind, stimulate the kind of, I guess, creativity process.
Yeah,
or in a
like,
way, or just stimulate yourself mentally.
things that authentically engage you, right? Like it feels the most real to you, right? Yeah, the most authentic things that you enjoy and that you want to do, and that you want that thing to be a huge part of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, man, just after this whole 6 months, I came out, you know, like realizing, like, dude, like honestly, like not mine, but just like in general, like all of our time, just not just yours, not just mine, but everyone's time. It's valuable, dude.
Very.
And every second counts, every minute counts, every hour counts, every week, day, year, it fucking counts. And you're the keeper of your own future and your own outcome.
Yeah.
After all that, and like, it tears me up that, like, so recently, so after I left my job, I gave a big stack of my business cards to my old coworker, and the next day I found out that one of my ex coworkers, or someone, I don't know who it was, like ripped up a bunch of my business cards and like trashed them all around their men's bathroom. And then I got a Snapchat from my friend from work, and it was like, dude, what the fuck, like, you see this shit? I'm like, for a second I was like hurt, like I was like, I was like, fuck, dude, like, cause like I never had haven't had any beef with anybody. Like I didn't understand it.
Some people don't air that out.
Yeah. And I was like, who could do such a thing? And then I just realized, you know, like, I don't feel sad, but I just wish that person would just, you know, do what, you know, follow my own pathway, like what I did. Like, let's say, you know, quit my job to focus on photography. I wish that person that ripped up my business cards, you know, found his true happiness as well.
Yeah.
Or found his calling, or his reason to, you know, to, I guess, live. Because like, I know everyone at that job is just miserable.
Damn.
So, yeah. So I just came out after these 6 months. I'm like, our time is valuable, dude. Our time's precious. Like, we're our own keeper. So it's like, you do what you want to do with your time, with the limited amount of time that you have. So yeah, man, that's what I've been going through. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've learned.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, man. It has been a lot.
And another word that, you know, I use to describe my 6 months that applies to yours: heavy.
Heavy indeed.
Heavy, man.
Heavy indeed.
Yeah. And so I guess one thing, so piggybacking off of, like, you know, like, a lot of people hate their day jobs, you know, a lot of people, man. And even beyond that, I think people don't realize how, well, a big idea I heard months ago was that what you experience, what happens to you, defines who you are, right? And it's like, wait a minute, I can't exactly control everything that happens to me. And that's true. but you can line up your life to put yourself in certain situations to where you become the person you want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can line up your time like that, right? And there are consequences and opportunities and everything in between based on that, but that's a huge thing to keep in mind. For example, my coworkers, man, it's like, it's hella toxic. Like, they talk shit about our boss at least 2 hours a day, and he knows. And it's just
Wait,
like,
your boss knows?
yes, or not. Maybe not that it was
Well,
like.
I think every boss or any kind of person in I guess upper management, I guess, knows in the back of their mind that their workers are, you know, gonna talk shit about them. Because honestly,
Yeah.
that's almost every job you go to. Because like, even like, so like right now, like I have the most nicest manager. Like fuck, like bless his heart. Like he's so nice, dude. Like
Yeah.
I don't like, I feel like I don't deserve him as a manager.
Damn,
And then like
that's
I thought
wholesome.
Like, yeah, dude. And then like I talked to other people and it's like, yeah, like he's mean and he's changed and
Oh,
blah,
he's
blah.
fake. Or...
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, dude. Like,
Damn.
like you could be wasting your energy on something else rather than doing this. Like, I mean, yeah, I know you have your perception of this person, but like, fuck, dude, like do something else with your time, you know?
Yeah, because it literally, like, okay, you know, just pure arithmetic. Just calculate the time. If my coworkers are talking shit about our boss for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, something you do for 10 hours a week, kind of, you know, that's pretty damn important. And, you know, I guess quick maths, 10 hours a week, 52 weeks in a year, 520 hours a year, just talking smack about someone. And it's like, why do that to yourself? Why do that to others? So the second my coworkers start doing that now, I'm just like, so what have you been doing in your free time? Like, what are you interested in? Like, you know, like, oh, you talked to that one girl, right? Or, you know, like, and you know, my coworkers are like enthusiastic, and I've always thought I was bad at conversation, or, you know, introvert, XYZ, but it's just like, just ask the right questions and people are genuinely interesting. Like,
Of course.
yeah, like they'll
Like, honestly, like I guess like how like whenever I perceive like take on a conversation, like ever since I did the whole Houston Smash Network stuff, like
Hell
I
yeah.
feel like every conversation I have with a stranger or like someone that I don't know really well just turns into an interview. Like recently, like recently today, like I went to a conro to talk to to a brewery about, you know, this marketing position coming up, and then, you know, they know my work, they know, they've seen my online persona and, you know, the photos I put out, but, you know, they don't know me and I don't know them personally. Like, we've met a couple times, but, you know, we were hanging out having a beer, and then, like, you know, the conversation through like awkward silence, or, you know, we were just looking, he was gazing off on the TV, and I'm like, all right, let me do that HSN stuff. All right, so hey, so how'd you get to Houston? You know, like, you lived in Cincinnati,
Dude.
started brewing beer.
Yeah.
How'd you get to Houston? You know,
Yeah.
it's weird. Like, ask the right questions.
Yes.
And then people are interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I mean, dude, if you ask the right questions, people will tell you the strangest things.
They will tell you the most raunchiest things, the most inappropriate things. They will tell you the most, like, as long as you have like maybe after the first conversation, because people won't, well, some people, but people just won't flat out say, hey, you know, like, I'm interested into, you know, feet fucking, you know, like, this the most extreme. I know,
to each their kinks.
Exactly,
Like,
to each their kinks. But, you know, people don't really share that kind of information on the first conversation. I mean, unless you're super open and like just that kind of person. But
dude,
just after having a nice first conversation, maybe on the second one, people start opening up, start getting trust. Then you start learning about a person, just in general.
yeah, and genuinely learning about them. And it's I think that's missing in a lot of daily conversation. And you know, like, everyone is welcome to be like reserved and everything, but I think that's something that a lot of people don't learn, like, how to have a meaningful conversation, right? Asking the right questions, or not even asking the right questions, just digging in and, like, talking about, I mean, what's meaningful. Like, what, for example, when I ask people about their hobbies or what they do in their free time, like, you know, my coworker that I might have previously thought was boring or whatever can go on for hours about fishing and, you know, tell me the specifics and tell me, like, okay, so yeah, this, you know, 15-pound bass, you know, I could sell it for like $3 a pound, and then, so do the math there, I catch this many, and then I'm like,
I make
oh,
this much. Blah, blah.
yeah, and it's like, damn. And you know, it's like you can learn things about people and learn things about the world as a result. Like, honestly,
Yes,
like,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, you're getting insight into that person's life, and it's like, if you don't see value in that, what the hell are you doing? Like, like, straight up, man. So that's something that I think a lot of people don't do.
Let's see. Well, right now we're gonna take our first break. But
right.
when we come back, we're gonna dive deep into more topics, more social stuff that, you know, we feel like we should spread upon you guys, and, you know, lessons that I think that we've learned that you might benefit. You know,
I'm gonna bring up a question I got from PK too.
oh shit!
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
cool.
in the
All
next
right.
segment.
All right, guys. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
Yo, it's your boy. We're back. It's Josh and Devin here in the mix,
Fuck yeah, dude.
live.
Back
Oh,
on that bullshit. Back on the bullshit.
Back on the bullshit.
Back on the bullshit.
Live and alive.
Live and alive.
Alive. That's a good thing to be, you know, in general, alive.
Fuck yeah. Like, I wouldn't think of anything
Yeah.
better.
I like it more than the alternative.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, a question I got from PK a while back was, how do you deal with letting how other people see you affect your life? Yeah. How do you reconcile that? Because, you know, as much as people will say, "Oh, I don't care what others think about me,"
Okay.
yeah, people actually do care, even if they say they don't care about what others think about them. They actually do.
No, yeah. I think it just goes in hand, because, like, with social media, because honestly, social media is just a highlight of our lives.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're really close and personal with that person, or that you're talking to, or that you're referencing, like, you're never gonna know the true person, like that true person, who they truly are, and how they feel and how they perceive the world and stuff. So, I mean, of course, and also I think it's that self-consciousness that we have, like that.
Yeah.
That just always comes into play,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, it's like, fuck, like, everyone thinks that I'm this kind of person, or like I should be doing this kind of stuff and stuff like that, and like I need to try to uphold that image, you know. It's like, it's a lot of work actually caring what other people think about you. Like, honestly, once that thing just, like, once you let go of that worriment, or that just that thing in the back of your mind, life's just a lot easier, you know.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's like, you got to be confident in yourself and your aims and your goals, and know that, well, not only know that, but you got to line up your life to where you're going in the right direction, and then remind yourself of that, because that is, you know, what you can use against any criticism. It's like, all right, people may talk shit, but, like, I'm doing what I got to do, and I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I just hate to reference myself, but, like, you know, the whole photography thing, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, I wanna do this so people can see this transformation, like, yeah, I'm posting highlights and stuff like that, but like I don't care what people think. I mean, it also correlates with another question we got that you mentioned earlier. You know, how do we deal with criticism?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I think how we worry about how people see ourselves. You know, that's criticism to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's like mild negativity in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mild. And it's a hard balance, and it's like um a lot of the time, I mean, even just existing, even just going about your day, whether it's school, work, talking to people, well, especially relationships, you got to put yourself out there. And it's like, what is your motivation for putting yourself out there, you know? And like in relation to you in photography, it's like you're building a career, you know? This is the beginning of a career, and I can already see and tell, like, a damn good one. Like, you're on the way, man, like, for sure, like, easily, you know? Like,
Thank you.
yeah, the writing's on the wall, you know? And you know, like my thing that I remind myself of is that I'm putting myself out there, putting forward content, or you know, whatever it may be, so that there's something out there, you know. I mean, heaven forbid or whatever, if something happens to me, it's like there would be something for Jade to see, and you know, maybe honestly, like, replay, or you know, all that. Just
A time capsule.
yeah, a time capsule, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but honestly, man, we'll probably look back on it when we're older.
So true. So
yeah,
true. So
look
true.
back and
Because nothing goes away on the internet.
yep,
Nothing goes away on the internet.
yep. Even, you know, we might end up regretting something, but it's like, as long as you learn from it, it's like, okay. In fact, I haven't really been regretting things lately, because it's like, you know, as long as I learn from it, like, then it's okay. Like, what's happened has happened. You can't change that, so you might as well just, like, that was a part of my life, and I am who I am today because of it, and I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, man. I think everything you go through, like in life, just helps you build character, helps you build up who you are supposed to become in the future.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like these past 4 years at my old job, you know, it's built me up. I don't know what way yet that I know how it helped build me up, but you know, I feel like, you know, after leaving that job, it's like, all right, I think I know what I wanted. Like, I know I know exactly what I want in life, and I guess now, after leaving that job, I know how to pursue it. I have more drive and stuff like that, you know. So, I don't know what keynotes have you took, you know, after your previous, you know, stuff that helped you build.
Well, so I would say, like, a big thing that you've gotten out of your job is discipline. Discipline, you know, from that hard schedule, the strict schedule, and consistent schedule. It's like, once you're not doing that thing anymore during that time, you're going to, you know, work in a way that you like, sure, but also with the same work ethic.
Right.
Yeah. So what I would say is that the jobs I've had and the things I've done and how they built me into the person I am today, it's like I've learned what I don't want to do, just like you have. And I've found my calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whatever that calling may be, or whatever person that you find, like, that you might find your calling, whatever calling that you might find, doesn't matter what people think about. Like, as long as you're satisfied with that calling, and you're okay with it, and you know, and you feel like this is something that you must do, I guess backtracking back to the question, you shouldn't care what, you know, what people, how other people perceive you. You know?
Yeah, leverage that against, you know, any negative thoughts you might get, like, oh, these people think XYZ things. Like, no, let me remind myself that I want this, and that I want to do this, and I want to work hard at this. And
but actually, this thing should actually come from you, not being like just genuinely from you, not because you were influenced by someone else, but something that, you know, that you found that like I guess out of random, like this, you know, the most unexpected. It's like, fuck, like I should be doing this. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Whatever the outcome, I feel like I should do this. You know?
yeah, and it's it goes back to the huge idea of you are what you experience, and how you can line up your life alongside that. There's this idea that I've seen from multiple psychologists and everything. Some would call it like the incorporation of the shadow, or one really good definition of it is the integrated individual, right? So the idea of the integrated individual is that, I mean, basically after 5 years, your routines define who you are. What you do during your time define who you are. And if you do things that take you away from your ideal, it's like, well, then you know what to burn off. And you know, I really like the term deadwood. Dude, yeah. What should move forward in time with me, and what should I burn off as if it's deadwood? Yeah. And you know, that's big. That's a huge idea. It's you kind of learn, and you know, can really look at what your life has been, and like, you know, how I realized my coworkers were talking shit all the time. It's like, all right, so I just took out 10 hours of negativity a week. It's like, okay, you know, we're doing good here. We're on the right track. Yeah. And then beyond that, it's like, you know, you can start picking off things like less time on YouTube, less time on social media, and it's like, it's by your own definition, which is the nice thing. It's like, it's not cut off all video games. It's like, no, I value playing video games. It's a good thing to pass the time. It's as long as I don't take it to an extreme and do it all the time. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
You have to know that healthy balance.
Exactly.
Yeah. And man, I wish, like, just jumping on that social media thing, dude, I wish I could live off the grid. I wish, dude, like, just be one of those people that just doesn't use social media at all. And just is just, but then again, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say you're ignorant toward, like, against the world, because I mean, you can watch TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just wish that, I think it would be a huge weight off people's shoulders if we just cut off social media, you know?
Yeah, actually, it would be, because people spend a lot more time scrolling than they think. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook.
I know, dude. So part of the thing that, part of the meeting, the marketing meeting that I had earlier today, we were talking about that, how it correlates with craft beer and stuff like that. And I tell them, like, honestly, as much as we tell ourselves, man, I'm never on Facebook. I'm never on Snapchat. I'm never on Instagram. Bullshit, dude. Fucking bullshit. Everyone's on this, man. Everyone is on this. Like, we're constantly flickering, going through
app to
app, checking up what kind. Like right now, like I had like 5 notifications from Instagram, 2 notifications on Facebook, 2 text messages, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like, we're so on this thing that we're so preoccupied, and it goes back to what PK was asking, and it's like, why do people, like, how do you
care about how other people see you?
Why do people care about, like, how they perceive you?
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, it's just ever since we started doing this, like, it's just you build that self-consciousness, and it's just always lingering there. It's fucking crazy. Like, I hate it.
Yeah.
But it's such an important tool, though.
Dude, but a huge thing to adopt is that comfort in yourself, in your aims. You know, that sort of like inner reassurance. I would say the inner reassurance, because that's what you have. That's your weapon against what others think about you. You know, and it's a huge thing to remind yourself of, and it's if your weapon, your reassurance of your aims and everything, if the fruits of the labor are there, especially, then you know you got a strong ass weapon to fight against criticism. It's like, I'm good.
Yeah. That's a good question. Good question, PK.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's see. Something I really learned the value of recently and the importance of is bravery, man. Like, okay, so in general, okay, when people have phobias, right? People are afraid of spiders. People are afraid of...
What's your phobia?
My phobia?
What's one of your phobias?
I used to have really bad social anxiety. Yeah. Current, like, still phobia. I don't know, man.
I have a phobia of frogs.
Of frogs?
Yeah, dude, I hate frogs. Like, I just see them and I just like, I almost get like an anxiety attack or panic attack. Like,
damn.
I see one and just like, I caught off guard and then like my chest clenches up. I fall short of breathing. It's like, fuck, dude.
From
like,
thinking of like the germs, or
nah, dude, they just look
just
nasty as heck,
the sheer
dude.
sight. Damn, damn.
They look nasty as hell.
Yeah.
And like it's just I just have that phobia when I see them, man. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't call it a phobia, but I'll tell you something I'm scared of, because I was, reminded of the danger. A lot of the time, I'm scared of driving, because
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I was in a really bad accident about 7 months ago now.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that really, is a huge reminder that it's dangerous out there, and someone's life can be taken at a moment's notice, like just that quickly, that easily. And then it's like, all right, what do you do in the face of that? And it's like, you take it on voluntarily, and what you weigh against your fear is bravery. People that work through their phobias in therapy, someone that is terrified of elevators, but then is, after therapy able to ride elevators, they don't become less scared of elevators. That's actually not what happens at all. They become braver. They completely can outline the dangers and everything just like they could before. They can talk about how much it terrifies them, because it still will, but they're braver, and they take it on because they have to. I take on driving because I have to. I have to go out, I have to work, I have to provide, I have to get out of bed. And it can be, extremely, it can be so scary, but I have to do it, so I might as well take it on voluntarily. Might as well. So...
You have no choice.
Oh, and another big thing about bravery is the more you learn in life, the more wisdom you pick up, the scarier life becomes. Like, actually, the more you learn, the more you know that you don't know that much. Like, it's like the second you dive into something like, earlier I was talking about music with my friend Oscar, and I'm like, oh, holy crap, I didn't know that much about music as much as I thought. Like, oh man, and there's like so many like specifics and certain things, and it's like, dang, I really did not know that much.
Right.
Yeah. And so whenever you learn more and become wiser, I mean, you're more aware of how scary things are. And so that's when bravery kicks in, and it's like you're even more terrified of the world and its consequences, but you take it on voluntarily because you have to.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have no other way, no other choice. Like it's just you and that barrier to where you're supposed to be at in life. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I choose not to confront frogs. So I think on that aspect.
Yeah. You don't have to.
I'm not gonna force myself to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
To get close to frogs. I mean, normally I'm not really scared of anything. I guess ultimately, one of my true fears is like, I guess being unsuccessful. But I mean, everyone has that fear.
Yeah.
That's a fear that we all share.
Mm-hmm.
Or a phobia, I guess. No fear. But I mean, I just when it comes to the things that I guess driving, it's like, all right, fuck it. Like I also too share that fear of driving because like I've had so many all my tires, like all like I go through a lot of tires.
Damn.
I go through a lot of tires, and like they've blown out on the highway. They've blown out on every almost every major highway here in Houston, and it's like fuck, and I when I'm driving, sometimes I just put the music really low and just feel, or just let go of the wheel and see like, oh man, are my tires
is my alignment?
Yeah, is my alignment good? Or is this tire need more air? Does the other one need more air? And it's I don't I live in that fear of I recently got new tires, maybe a month ago, and I still live in that fear. It's I should be good, but I'm just terrified.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, I just noticed that the battery light is blinking.
Oh.
So we'll be back. We're gonna take another break. I'm gonna switch off from the batteries. So we'll be back. We'll talk about another thing and then wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
Guys. Peace.
We back. Some technical difficulties.
Yeah, technically. So, all right. To be honest.
Yeah.
We were talking about brutal honesty earlier.
Yeah. I messed up, guys.
Yes.
I messed up. My mic was off. Holy F.
Yeah. So it's not the first time that's happened. Not and during the podcast, but just in general, since I did the whole HSN stuff.
Yeah.
I recorded this beautiful interview I did with Deluxe,
mm-hmm.
and that dude just kept on putting his mic, turning off his mic on and off.
Really?
Yeah, and just the audio was just choppy, but not. It was
oh
damn it,
no!
Deluxe. But it's okay. We recorded it again. We got a pretty good interview out of it. So yeah. I note to self, next time I get new mics, not to have the on and off switch right here, or put some tape so people won't fuck with it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so
but yeah, so backtracking to what we were talking about, brutal honesty. So how that topic manifested was just things that we've learned in life during this past 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And Devin was just sharing about
the whole idea of nice guys and how disingenuous it actually is. And the classic definition that I'm referring to when I say nice guys is those nice, quote unquote, nice guys that will, message girls and stuff. And the second that they don't get what they want, they lash out, violently saying, oh, you're this and that. And, and it's well, are you really a nice guy? ?
Right.
Yeah. And so it's actually very disingenuous. And, a big thing that nice guys do too is they avoid conflict. They do anything they can to avoid it. And it's no, the alternative to that is not being a jerk. The alternative to that is honesty and incorporating, every part of your personality and being your true, genuine self.
Mm-hmm.
It's whenever you do something nice for someone, it's not out of expecting something back. It's not out of an expectation that the world, will, line itself up for you just because you were nice to people. It's no, you're doing it because it's genuinely out of the kindness of your heart, and it's real. And honesty is a huge value that that people tend to forget, because like there's just way too much lying in the world.
I think it's just easier it's easier to live when you live an honest life.
Yeah.
When you just live by that philosophy, because lying just takes a lot of energy out of you, and it's just a lot of backtracking and a lot of guilt and a lot of just things that you just, there's so much pressure that you have to hold on your shoulders that it's just totally not worth it. Like, I think it's just better to be honest with that person or whatever situation that you're in, and just, you know, overcome the consequences, whether they're good or bad. You know, like, say if you stole something, right? Like, hey, you made that decision to do it. Be honest about it. If people catch you on your bullshit, like, admit it. Like, take your shit. Take your shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So another thing we'll bring up real quick, since it got lost in the mix, making sure it was on.
Yes.
All right. Is PK asking, how do you deal with letting how other people see you affect your life?
Actually, that part.
Oh, it made it?
Yeah. That
okay, I lost track.
That part made it in between.
All right. I lost track.
Yeah.
So bravery, is that?
Bravery, yes.
Yeah, that got.
I think bravery and then assertiveness was something that got caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
that
moved into man, we had a great
yeah, we had a great I was like, damn.
I mean, it happened. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It happens.
So I guess you know, and what's nice is looking back on it, it's like now I know like the meaningful chunks, because a lot of the time some of these ideas and things that I talk about, I'm still fleshing out. You know, there's always more to learn, and so, you know, I already, even just after 5 minutes, have those ideas more fleshed out just from discussing them. It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. And so, all right, so the core like meat of what we were talking about is the importance of bravery is underestimated, because the wiser you become, the more terrifying you realize the world actually is. It's like there's crime, there's unnecessary chaos, there's people that get cancer randomly. I'm still terrified of driving on the road because, you know, your life is at risk at any given moment and you just don't even know.
I think we talked about this before, not during the bravery thing. Was it during the bravery thing? Just the past conversation, or was it in before that, before we had to change the batteries? I forget. This conversation sounds really familiar to me.
Yeah.
I think it was before we had to change the battery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
so.
No. But it's okay. But we're stressing this out.
Yep.
There's a reason why we're backtracking to it. We're stressing this out so you know.
Yeah. It's hella important. And so just to hammer it in one more damn time is that the world is freaking scary, and that no matter how scary it is, you got to take it on voluntarily. You got to freaking be brave, all right? Just do it, damn it. Because what's the alternative? Withering away, not getting out of bed? Like, no, like, stand up in the face of danger and take it on, damn it.
Yeah. I think that's a good note to end it tonight, man.
Yeah.
It's a good note.
Yeah.
It's a high note.
We got a lot going on in our lives. We got to get rest and everything, but
yeah, like one of the things of like the downsides of being a school photographer, you have to wake up at like 5 in the morning. Like, I mean, I was already used to working 5 in the morning at the assembly line, but like wake up 5 in the morning, leave my house at 5:20, get to the school at 6:30 because you're going to like, because you know how big freaking Houston is. Going to like Pasadena, Baytown, Lamarck, Dickinson, Galveston, Conroe, Woodlands, you get it. So like,
at least it's interesting seeing all those areas and everything.
Like I become so like since I've been like driving an obnoxious amount, like I had I thought I had a good sense of direction. Now I have even better sense of direction. It's like, all right,
Heck
cool.
yeah.
I don't need my GPS anymore to get to this middle school. Oh, I'm going to Pasadena. All right, I'll go 290, 610 north. That turns to 610 east, and then I'll take 225, and then I'll exit Pasadena Boulevard, and then there. Like,
Bing bang boom.
yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't need a GPS anymore. Like, well, I still need it for like the small things, but like major things, like going to like different like places, I got it locked
For
down,
sure.
kind of.
And I mean, overall, I'm glad we sat down and did this, man.
Yeah,
Glad we
man,
sat
me too,
down
me
and
too.
recorded, and you know, like we were saying earlier, there's just so much value in conversation. We both learn a lot, and you know, sure, it's always scary, like, oh, you know, I'm putting myself out there. Oh, you know, people can criticize me for this and that, but I am going to cringe at like how I forgot, or you know, how I, you know, ended up talking about bravery again or whatever.
Yeah.
I will cringe, but damn it, I'm doing this because this is what I want to do, and because, you know, as imperfect as I am, I gotta keep moving forward.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
It's okay.
my imperfections and all, man. You know, I don't have a choice but to move forward because, you know, it's because my daughter, man. You know, it's number one. Gonna keep going. Gonna at least have content out there for her to see. You know, her daddy, her father, and
How was little Jade, by the way?
oh man, she's doing great. Walking consistently.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, strongly and everything, and always happy to see her father. It's really heartwarming.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that.
yeah, man. It's she'll probably see this in the future.
That'd be tight.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, dude, that's crazy. Like
Thinking about that.
like 20 years into the future, we're like 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like there's these videos still being around, and it's like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Like, some like, even though they might not get as much views, it's like this is still stuff that you know we've done like in our 20s, and it's like we are gonna backtrack it when we're 40s or in our 50s,
Yeah.
and it's like, holy shit, dude, remember when we did this shit?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
and it's like I know myself. Like I might be 40 years old driving, and you know, got time to kill, got things
Put
to
on
listen
the
to.
podcast.
Yeah. Or oh no, even better, dude. Like we're gonna have self-driving cars, and so
True,
like I have all that time to kill. Like I'll be listening to stuff, I'll playing video games in my car because it's driving itself,
So-
and it's like, dang man. Hi Devin from the future. What's good? Hi Josh in the future. I'm talking to you now. Talking to you and you in them.
Greetings.
Greetings.
This is you from your past. You did good.
Yeah,
I hope you're doing good.
you better be.
All right.
Yeah, you better be, man. We're doing this for you, man. We're trying to make
Exactly.
you a good person. Damn it.
Yes, sir. Well, on that note, I hope you become a good person. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, the things that that we've talked about today, you've gained another insight, another lesson in life. I hope you find and value throughout these things, these talks, these conversations,
Yeah.
and you know,
It's nice to be reminded of these things.
Yeah,
Because yeah.
you know, if you like what you see, the content, you know, make sure you like, subscribe if you want to see more of this. I'll be honest. I'll be brutally honest.
Yeah, this
This might not be a weekly thing.
oh yeah, no.
Maybe a bi-weekly thing. I think you know what? I'll make it more in it to do a bi-weekly thing.
Yeah?
Bi-weekly podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even have to, but you know, well, yeah, we can go on ahead and there will be one in the future.
Of course.
Leave comments below and we will answer your questions. Who knows, maybe one question could turn into a whole 5-10 minute spiel.
Yeah.
Because some things, like, you know, you dive into and there's a lot of meaning to take out of it. But you know, on that note of, you know, meaning and everything, I hope some of this stuff served as a good reminder. It's like, you know, if you ever have a hard time getting out of bed, remind yourself that you're being brave and that it's strong and that you can get out of bed. You know, there are a lot of people that struggle with that. And you just remind yourself of the value of bravery, and despite how scared you might be of the world, take it on anyway.
Dude. On that note, see you guys later. Have a good one.